down. Here's the veteran Shane Lechler to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll go as just a 15-yard punt, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Again, it's Mixon. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Here we go now.
Looking to throw. Steps away to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. He'll drop to throw. And able to find Green. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going. The toss play to Mixon. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll set up to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. J.J. Watt in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And Bullock will put this one through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. And the first 3 points of the night belong to our home team as they get the field goal on the game's initial drive.
A good, solid drive. It didn't wind up in the end zone, but that's okay. You've got something positive on the board, and you've got the early lead.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. And you're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position.
Well, the offense lining up first and 10. They'll run here with Mixon. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it second and 12. They'll look to throw to Mixon on the check down. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be third down.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a fourth down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It'll be a gain of 4. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. To throw now on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football. They've all been going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he'll take this down for about 4 yards down to the 15.
I like the call. Inside the red zone running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bengals are in for 6. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. second down, here's Mahomes. And Ellington has it, middle of the field. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jordan Willis in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darqueze Dennard. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now.
Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. Oh, little 360. There he goes, right side. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Detroit! Leopard! Set! Green 39! Green 39! Check nickel. Detroit! He's coming. All right, here we go. Green! Gun! Detroit!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Michael Pruitt, the big tight end, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up. That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howell. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
Well, number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing the second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head, walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
And out now, here come the Bengals. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. Room here to run. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Detroit! Here we go!
Back to throw here. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Malone. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Detroit! Good! Back down in that Philly. Here we go! Now, Jack Patriots!
They'll look to throw here on first down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 36. Past the 20. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
They find some open field here. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Well, certainly they haven't had the ideal first half, but there's something, some momentum, and no update from Larry this week, apparently. We'll try again in week 7, but for now, let's get back to the action, ready to kick off the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create...
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Here's a toss coming right. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the two-point conversion for good measure. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. Shedding through the defense. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
So bad.
I don't know about that. Super tough.
9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And the play clock's running down. A first down carry now for Miller. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On second down, here's Miller. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
They do go for it. It's Mahomes. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Mixon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Now, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't it? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one.
Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And that one puts them on top here in the 3rd. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This will be fielded at the 6. Twisting away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
How many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of...
And he fires one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Malone. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now Mixon. And some room to work. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening.
Second down following the run. Now they run with Mixon. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. He'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Malone. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this Texans defense stands tall. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game-tied 4th quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
And it didn't work out, and again, tie game 4th quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. Play clock winding down. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. It's hauled in by Ellington. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. They'll toss it to Miller. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Forced out to his left. And he's going to be out of bounds down near the 35-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. Mahomes going to throw. Flush to his right. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Down to about the 22 here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Running left is Miller. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They keep it with Miller on 1st down. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard at the 7-yard line. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And they get the timeout called here. It comes with 1 second remaining on the clock. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. He's hit on his one earlier attempt tonight, but this, a little more pressure-packed for the win.